Hey there, YouTube. Today's video we're going to be talking about bus routes and how to use them and place them effectively and efficiently in your city. So let's go ahead and explain what we're going to go through here in today's video. So as you can see, I have this area here. It's a small, low-density town, and I have the bus routes drawn in already, which are going to this new it's going to be a small, higher density area. As you can see, I've got a university set up here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually take out all of these bus lines, and I'm going to go through with you today how and why I chose these routes the way that I did, and you never know, I may even improve them a little bit. Okay, we're back, and as you can see, all the bus lines are gone. I've deleted all of them, made my people very sad, but they'll get over it once I unpause the game and they realize that they're all back. So what we're going to start with is I'm going to kind of explain to you how this kind of section of the city is laid out. There's a small highway exchange here. This feeds the industrial area, and here we have kind of this main Broadway-like street here, which is actually a 4-lane road, which leads off to some smaller 2-lane roads in these residential subdivisions. Now along this this Broadway-like road, there's some commercial buildings. We have our services on this road. This is the kind of road hierarchy that you want to use in your city. You set this road as your priority. You do that by finding where the name is, click on it, and set it as a priority road. I don't know why it's not set as that. It should be. And from here we have this other 4-lane road, which is feeding what is going to be this larger density area across the train tracks from this low density area. As you can see here, there's a university, and I actually have this bus metro hub, which we're going to be using in this video. This is available on the Steam Workshop. It's called the NTE Falcon Bus Metro Hub. If you're interested in it, just do a search for that and you should be able to find it. So let's get into painting our bus lines. The first line we're going to start with is going to be one that basically is just going to go from the university, and it's just going to go around this main road right here. So let's see the best way we can do that. We know our starting point is going to be right here in our bus station. We don't actually really need to make any stops. Until we get probably about here. So what we're actually going to do here is we're going to make it so that this bus actually covers this small section of the low-density residential area as well for pickup, which will bring them to the university. We don't have to put any more stops on this side since we already have this side all covered. Adding more stops on this busy road is not going to be a good idea either, because the more your bus stops, the more it's going to clog up the rest of your traffic. Alright, so that is our first bus line. We'll go through it again. It starts here at the train terminal at the university, which is a high traffic area for people and pedestrians. You go up here, and all we're doing is just a loop around this main street. And you'll be able to see what we do with the rest of the buses. The other buses will be going in squares covering just these blocks, bringing all the people to the main road, where they will get on another bus and go to the university. So let's do this area right here. So we're going to start here, create a new line. I'm going to stop there. Do one there. Let's see. This is going to be a slightly larger bus route than the rest of them, because this one has to cover this little area too. Since my town is a little irregular here, it's going to come up here, go around. We're going to skip this road. And just stop right there. So there's one. Another thing that you should do while you're outlining these is to just change the color of them to kind of differentiate them. It's just easier to see what you're working with. Okay. Let's add another bus line here. Actually, I'm going to move this stop right here. After. One more there. And just come around and complete that one. We're actually going to put that stop there so that it's a little more accessible to these folks on this road. There's also a park right here, which is really nice. Provides a nice walking trail to these people. Or, sorry, to this bus stop from this side where there isn't actually any physical stops. Okay. So let's do this next area. We're only going to do one... Oh, I started on the wrong side. We're only going to do one block here, since this area is kind of already covered by the other bus route that we have. Just 3 stops on this guy. Do another one up here. Oh, wrong side again. Okay. This bus is going to cover this main road here. So it's going to stop there, and then it's going to turn here. This is going to be a pretty big bus route. We might have to give it some more buses. Should put a stop right here. Do one more here. That's going to be it. I think that's too big. Maybe that stop isn't necessary. We're going to try it out like this. Let's just change the rest of our colors. For the purpose of this video, we're not going to be messing around with the industrial area around here because, as you can see right now, it's kind of in a state of chaos. So I feel like adding buses to the equation is not going to help the situation down there. So we're not going to think about that for right now. It's buses. So you can kind of see what we've got here. It looks pretty similar. It's not exactly the same as what I had on here before I deleted all the bus lines. It's a very similar shape. You can see we stick to simple lines, try to keep them a reasonable size, bar this one, and just have them cover blocks and simply have the buses feed other bus stops. We have this one main bus here taking people to university. It's to be expected that this bus and this bus will likely be our busiest too. They'll have the most passengers, and we'll have to therefore adjust to give them the most vehicles. So I'm going to let this play for a little bit. I'm going to pause the recording, and we will see how these buses are working in just a little bit. Alright, so let's take a look at how our buses are doing. We're up to 812 residents per week, so it actually went up from what it was before I had removed and changed all the bus lines, which is good. So when we're looking at our public transport overview here, if we start here, this is our first bus line, and all the ones after this are the ones that we just added. So let's kind of go over them and see how each one's doing. This is the one that we anticipated to be the busiest, and it is. Not by much, though. It, by default, chose 8 vehicles, which I think is a pretty good number of buses for this route. If we take a look here and zoom in, we can see there is a lot of people using this bus. People at almost all the stops. So let's take a look at another one. Here we have the green route. This bus has 91 people on it. Fairly successful. This is a smaller route here, bus line 10, so we would expect, yeah, it's going to have less people. Bus line 11 is the smallest out of all of them. It's not used very much, but it only has one bus, so it's not really costing me that much money. Here we have bus line 12, which I may still be splitting into 2 buses. It's something to consider. If there's too many people waiting at your stops, you should probably either try adding more buses or add another bus route. that's my tip for that. This is our last one that we just added in. This is bus line 13. All this is another simple around the block kind of bus route that takes passengers from the university over here to the residential area where there is a high school and an elementary school. I don't know why it's being weird there. So that's the idea. I think you can kind of get it from this. We basically have the buses go around in small blocks in the residential areas, and we try to keep one. This is what I would call the feeder bus. So this bus is taking all the passengers coming from all these different routes, and this is what's feeding all the people down to the university and to this big city area where they may be coming to work in the offices or whatever. Now that I'm thinking about it, I'm probably going to add a bus route coming from this hub to the offices. That's a good idea. So let's add this in. We'll do it live. Put a stop there. One there. One there. Okay. I'm going to be putting more offices up here anyway. The buses do not like to make left turns, which is probably a good thing. Alright, we'll go ahead and change that color. And there we go. We have another bus line in. Well, that is going to be it for this video. I hope you guys learned something here today. If you do your bus lines in this way, they shouldn't get too clogged up, and they should be pretty efficient at moving your citizens around your city and really reducing your traffic, and especially your pedestrian traffic. So I hope this helped, and I hope you have a good day. See ya!